Life on a rock. That's how we roll. Some people are trying to come in. Boy, it's exciting times ahead. I'm a little bit worried about that storm. I was just Google mapping it this morning. There's not much on the Cuban coast that's going to get hurt, but that storm's been sitting there for days. And that's Cancun on the Mexican side. So there's lots of stuff happening there. And then I guess you guys have seen the news. It's going to come north of Tampa, they say, but we never know what it's going to do. You never know.
I'm a couple minutes behind. Got my place in gas line, so taking a couple minutes.
Oh, I give away gas today too. For my generator.
All right. Well, everyone's mind is in a different place at the moment today.
Yeah, Jeff and I talked yesterday and said, okay, not many buyers going to be out looking at houses, not many sellers to think about putting their house on the market. There's a storm coming our direction. The media is all over it. So let's talk what we did last week, because you're not going to get to do a lot this week.
We're local retailer today.
I'm going to start with a message from Dale Neighbors. Dale says, I know, I'm quiet you. Okay, Dale says, hey team, will not make Monday AM Zoom meeting. However, a few cool things last week. Video about you know people I don't know. He shot that 14 CMAs and 100 follow-up CMAs by mail. Got a new listing coming online soon. He went to coffee meetings and he got one of his bucket list items done, which was a hot air balloon ride. Super cool. Who's got something to share they did last week? Your inability to share is going to change this format.
Okay, I'm going to share something.
Okay, thank you, Willow.
It's hilarious. I didn't do much last week because of Tom Ferry stuff, but so over the weekend, actually yesterday, I posted a video of me being in a Costco gas line, and I was just saying, hey, there's a hurricane coming. It probably won't come this way, but we Floridians just like to be, prepare ahead of time, no matter what the category is. And I got over 48,000 views overnight.
Holy
and
cow.
comments. Yeah, and comments. And I comment them right back. And, people were like, I know where that Costco is, blah, 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 this stuff. And they're like, oh, thanks. I got to go get my gas. So I just thought it was hilarious because it was just me in a gas line. That's all it was. It was like less than 15 seconds. and I'm actually doing an open house today. So
That's awesome.
I've already scheduled it, and I just went to the house, stood in front of it, and I posted it. Said, hey, if you're out there getting gas or whatever, stop by. I'm gonna be here from 10 to 1. I know it's an odd time, but and I said, hey, this house has a generator. Hey, what do you need while you're living here? So I'm just playing with it and taking it wherever it needs to go.
Great.
That's
so tell
awesome.
me, what was your takeaway from Tom Ferry?
I'm going to implement a few things. I guess he's gonna do 100 in 100 days, which is to me seems, yeah, it seems to me impossible, but you know what? I'm gonna try it and I'm going to just go with it. I'm probably going to learn a lot of great things. There was a lot of listing stuff that they were talking about, and just the quick texts and emails and hellos and stuff, and it's more of caring for your clients rather than sell. So just being out there and be available to them.
Did his message sound much different than ours?
No, it's exactly the same.
Thank you. I wanted to hear that. Except what was his big difference? The quantity.
Well, Yes, new agents should be doing like 100, and we're doing like 5, and yeah, so that
No,
really
you're not even
resonated with
doing
me.
5. 'Cause
Yeah,
nobody's
that
talking.
yeah, that resonated with me, because I know what I needed to do, and and my goals, and the reason why I gotta work a little bit harder. Um, I'm well now, medically well. I can't be afraid of that. And that was my drunk monkey, was what if I had a heart attack? Well, just stuff like that. So I'm good. I'm well. I'm healthy. I'm running. I'm gonna do a 5K. So I'm just like, you can do this. Just gotta get out of that negative mindset.
Good
Well,
for
that's awesome. A couple of things I wanted to mention. Awesome. I mean, that's amazing, Whippa. Now, for everybody else online, stop telling yourself that you know what people want to see, because Whippa took a 15-second video in a gas line, got 40,000 views, and you're over here overthinking, trying to create a video about that looks really cool, that's highly edited and professional with captions and scripted and everything. She just one-offed it in a gas station and got 40,000 views. So it's really about the authenticity of the message and you just being the truest version of you and showing up like that, because that's what people are going to like, know, and trust and be attracted to or repelled from. And either way is great. And then Whip, I would challenge you to change a little bit of that perspective every day. Try and do a little bit more that's to help shift your mindset to the acceptance that $100,000 in 100 days is actually possible. Because in 90 days, 100 days is what? It's 3 months and 10 days. That's really, it's 1 quarter. Are there people that have done $400,000 in a year? Yes. And we have them inside of our company that are doing it. So the fact that the first initial instinct is to think that's impossible, I would just challenge you to stop that process of thinking. The minute that you start thinking it's impossible, stop yourself. And stop that process of thinking and do something differently that puts a different thought in your mind. Like tell yourself something different. Like, you know what? It only feels impossible because I've never tried it. But if I show up and I try it and do a little bit of an experiment, I'm going to get some good results. Even if you start off with that, that's just a little bit different than what you were thinking. And it's going to help you to kind of open the mind a little bit and welcome in some other opportunities.
Yeah, to break that down even further, $100,000 in 100 days is I showed you on last Tuesday, the average commission now is at $12,000, and our pendings are at $13,000. So that's really only 8.3 transactions in 3 months, in 10 days. So there's only 3 transactions a month. Has anybody ever done 3 transactions in a month?
A ton of people.
A ton of people. Like, look at our hot sheet. Every time we give you awards, we tell you when people are doing 6, 7 deals a month. There's only 3 deals a month for 100 grand in 100 days. Huh. Well, it's not what happens. It's not what happens to you in life. It's how you react to what happens to you in life. It's only three deals.
But it all goes back to what are you going to do with 100 grand in the end of
does.
it, right? So that's what you guys need to be thinking about with it, because you could challenge yourself at any moment. But 100 grand is a lot of money, but it's really not, right? It depends on your mindset, right? And what are you going to do with it, and how exciting is that? Because the moment it's hot and you get hung up on, and it's tough or challenging, or you lose a listen to somebody else and the drunk monkey starts attacking, if your goals aren't stronger than the drunk monkey resistance, you're never going to get it. So the mental conditioning now is about, I deserve it, I can do it, I've seen others do it, therefore I can do it, and I want it because I deserve this, and this is going to feel great, right? And actually getting into that mindset of already having achieved 9 deals, guys, or 5 big ones, right? Just depends on where you're going to be working. So it's totally within you.
Yep.
You have to convince yourself that that is true, because it is true.
Well, look at this. John wrote in, I reached out to 12 past clients that had not purchased as a simple follow-up. 4 replied and are getting qualified. Other 8 I will follow up until I get 1 of 2 fingers. This one or that one. That's a Chris Reed thing. All right, so John talked to 12 past clients. Have we been telling you to go back to leads from a year and a half ago, and 2 years ago, and a year ago? Because they were so frustrated they couldn't buy a house. And they stopped, they gave up. And now they want to buy a house again. Forget about interest rates. I don't want to hear any more about that. They are what they are. We showed you a graph last week that this is actually lower than the average over the last 30 years. Right. Mike Clayman had his first closing with us and just wrote he's got a listing appointment this afternoon. When it rains, it pours.
Success breeds success, baby. That's it. It's a mental thing. It's an attraction thing. What other successes from the week?
Come on, guys. I was gonna say to our video concept, Jimmy showed a lot of stuff at our top agent luncheon at Omaha last Friday. And he picked out a lot of agents to demonstrate how they're using their Moxie. And the 3 agents that were showcased, they looked really good. And the question I asked was, all right, did you have a videographer do that for you? Did you do it yourself? And all 3 of them said I did it myself. I used my iPhone and I used a octopus stand. Put the camera up and just talk to it. So Whippa doing that at the gas station line, it worked really well.
I had some wins last week I can share.
Okay, what'd you do?
So I had 2 closings last week,
Sweet.
and one of them was a very difficult seller. Super sweet on the onset, but had a home that was built in the 80s that she literally never did one thing to. Nothing to the plumbing, nothing to the electrical. She actually had a hole in her roof that had leaked through to the master bedroom, and that room actually lacked drywall because it had leaked. Now they had tarped it off, so there was no concern of mold. And of course she wanted top dollar for the property. So I, was able to get her to understand the value in the property, got her connected with a roofer that agreed to take the property and put a new roof on it and not get paid until closing.
Perfect.
So we did get multiple offers on it. And the pool had not been maintained since 1983. So the pool was a complete shamble. And so the first deal fell through on closing day. It didn't necessarily fall through on closing day. They said they needed an extension, and we gave them a 2-week extension. At the end of the 2 weeks, they weren't ready to move forward. So we closed them. I called back one of the other offers. We got it right back under contract. But now the homeowner did no longer wanted to pay for pool chemicals or for lawn service. And didn't understand why she had to do that. And then some wonderful person decided that they would use her bathroom. The first day it went back active while we were negotiating the second contract, and plugged up all the toilets.
Oh, God.
So she also didn't think that that was necessary to get that done. So I paid for the plumber to come in, and once the inspection came back there, she needed to put $3,300 into it. I had already told the buyer's agent she wasn't going to be willing to give a dime. So they raised their offer by $3,300, made the deal move forward, got her closed with the pool as green as it could be. I was out there every week putting chemicals in it at my expense. It was just ridiculous. It was a ridiculous house that I'm amazed sold. But we got it done.
Like. You got
and it
multiple
closed.
offers of that POS house.
Yes. And so both of those happened, and then my first house was easy peasy, right? Put it on the market, day number 1, very first showing, got an over asking price offer. Moved through inspections without an issue. Seller was amazing. The buyer's agent was brand new. I was able to convert him. He joined our team. We closed on Tuesday. He joined our team on Thursday. So it was a good week. Got both of those done for one really deserving seller and one seller that was just a mess.
Well,
she
those
asked
things
me to
happen.
pay for her $3,300 repair, and I actually laughed. I was like, no.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Wow.
So-
So Whippa, there's Johanna had 2 closings in a week. We're talking about 3 deals in a month. Right? $100,000 in 100 days. Tom Ferry. Good deal. Who else got something to share or write in the chat? Sounds like one of my great, yes, it does sound like one of your sellers, Lauren. Chris, who can you pick on?
I can share a couple of things.
Okay, Kimberly.
So I had my listing in Brandon that great house, but you can't really tell that by looking at it because very cluttered, very nothing cosmetic had ever been fixed. Any real major issues were always fixed, but it just didn't look very good. It didn't show well. But it was two elderly sisters in their 80s and not a whole lot of money, not any extra money. So they really couldn't do anything. So I kind of just made sure that every showing, we were getting a lot of showings. Every showing, I would call the buyer's agent prior to the showing and I would really sell it. I would say, listen, you know, it's got a brand new roof, it's got solar panels, the Tico bill's $20 a month. You know, I was just kind of talking up all of the positive aspects about it. And I did tell them that you know, anything that you see is an issue. It's just cosmetic. So anyways, that worked because we ended up getting a full price offer and we are now under contract with that. So I'm just praying that the inspection's been done. I haven't heard anything yet about it. So hopefully I won't. But so that was good. And then after the top agent luncheon on what day was that? Friday? Friday. Okay. I met up with a few of the agents at a little boutique in Tampa. We went shopping and I just thought to myself, well, this would be a good time to do, you know, what's great about South Tampa video. So I just kind of shot a real quick little video of the boutique and put that together on Facebook. And I've gotten a lot of comments and a lot of views on that and people, you know, reaching out to me. And it had nothing to do with real estate, you know, but I think that's good just to kind of, you know, I like those videos of kind of highlighting the positives of the area that you live in and what you love about it. And I do love that South Tampa has so much to offer. So, you know, unique little shops and restaurants. So every time that I go, I'm going to be doing that.
That's exactly what we asked you to do last week. So thank you for that. And thank you for validating what we said. Now I want to say something else. The public's perception of what we do as a listing agent is what? Put it on the MLS and hope it sells. That's not what we do. Kimberly, a really good point. She's called the co-broke agent and sold the listing. I know a lot of you show up at the showings yourselves to demonstrate the features and benefits of the house. And that's just something I want to throw out there. Calling the co-op and selling the benefits of the house. That's that's what they hired us.
Well, and last year we didn't have to do that, right? We could put anything on the market and it was gone in a day, you know. So, but now I am seeing that you got to go back to basics and a little extra effort pays off.
Mike's got a challenge. His listing more this afternoon. She's insisting her home is $40,000 over market value. I mean, she's insisting to list it 40,000 over market value. Who remembers my definition of a listing? An interest-free loan to the seller that only gets repaid if the listing sells. So as a businessman, you have to decide if you want to make an interest-free loan to the seller, because it sounds like it's not going to sell if it's $40,000 over market value. Or what do we recommend these days, Mr. Reed?
Which part?
Making the listing overpriced.
I'll just telling him the truth and then putting some verbiage into the listing agreement that strategically starts marking it down to the price that you want over a certain period of time. Because if they're willing to agree to that, it means that they're serious. And if they're not willing to agree to it, they're probably just trying to waste their time. If they don't get that $40,000 over what the market value is, they're probably not going to sell it. But
the best way to get an over asking price offer is to what?
Create a bidding war.
Yeah. Price it low and get multiple offers. They're missing that part. This is
I
where
just
you-
want to know that they're serious about it. I'm happy to give you the chance to make $40,000 more than what we expect to get out of your home. Very happy to do that. I'd be happy to try it. I will sell the hell out of your home when I put it online and market it and advertise on social media and do all of those things. I will absolutely do that. But you have to do something for me. You have to be serious enough to sell it. If I'm going to be putting some additional money into marketing and social marketing and flyers and printouts and knocking on doors and calling everybody and doing everything, then you have to be willing to be serious if it doesn't sell within 14 days. Because like Mike Ferry said, if your home hasn't gotten offers in the first 14 days, then you, Mr. Seller, are the highest bidder for your house. So let's go ahead and put some terms into the additional terms of the listing agreement that says if the home is not under contract within the first 14 days, the price shall be reduced to pick a number. If it's not under contract within the first 30 days, pick a number, reduce the price to it. And if they're willing to agree to that, that means they're serious. Yeah, let's give it a shot.
If not, you're wasting your time and giving out an interest-free loan that you're not going to get repaid on. Interesting.
I have 2 homes that I've done that with. We have in the contract, you know, kind of scheduled reductions. And we've even gone above and beyond those scheduled reductions. And they're still sitting. And we're at about 65 days on each.
Hmm.
And they are appropriately priced.
Well, if they were appropriately priced, they'd be selling. I'm not good. I say it every time. Everybody says that. My home's priced right. If it was priced right, the buyers would be buying it. It could be priced right based on what the sold comps show, but the market is so fluid that 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 30 days after a home sells, the market could have shifted a little bit in that neighborhood. So the neighborhood over here, I use this example all the time. Mira Bay had 60 or 70 homes on the market. And then when the market went crazy, we could barely keep 5 to 7 homes on the market. But somehow it's gone back to 65 homes on the market. It didn't happen overnight. But for a period of time, everybody's home was priced right, but wasn't selling because they priced it like the homes that sold 30 days ago. And then 30 days after that, they had to make another reduction and it sold for less than something else. So over time, yes, you could be priced just like the comps and you could have done a perfect job pricing it, but the buyers aren't seeing the value. So it's not appropriately priced for what the buyers are deeming the value of that home is right at this point. And that's not anybody's fault. It's what's going on in the market. We just have to be astutely aware of that, which is why we recommend seller follow-ups at least once a week on Mondays. Every Monday, talk with them about what's going on, what else is sold, what else is going pending, what new neighborhoods are coming around, what new construction is offering, what the competition is, and just try and keep up to it. You're doing everything you can.
On Friday.
Yeah, we've taken a $50,000 cut on one of them. And to Lauren's question, yes, we're offering a $7,500 towards the rate buy down. There's no HOA in this community. It's sitting on an acre. And every single home in the community, I had 5 of them listed. I only have 2 of them left. And these folks even got an appraisal. They got appraisal done about the 30-day mark, and we're about 25,000 under what that appraised value came in.
I hate appraisals on not under contract properties in a lot of senses, because that gives the seller the sense of that's what my home is worth based on one person's opinion. But that person is not the one that's buying your home. You could be perfectly priced based on what the value of everything else was, like we talked about, but the buyers aren't deeming that the value at this point. So that's it. It can be good, but it can also be bad because now the seller has that number stuck in their head because the professional appraiser told me that's what it's worth. They told me that's what that's worth. So I'm not going to sell it for less than what it's worth. And it becomes a challenge. Whenever there's no
they're not
contract-
doing that though. Yeah, thankfully they're not doing that though.
That's good.
They are. They actually called me yesterday and said, let's talk about, let's talk about getting this reduced.
Good.
So
Stephanie wrote in, I think it's important to really listen to the client as to where they're getting their numbers from. Is it Zillow, a past sale? Maybe they need to sell it at that much more in order to satisfy a mortgage. 100%. But in Mike's case, I love it. She says God told her the price. That's pretty hard to argue with. Nice. Okay, Andrea, you raise your hand.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Wanted to
Good
say hi. I've been kind of quiet the last couple of weeks. I had to go to Maine for a week to deal with some family issues going on, but I pretty successful week even being away, so that was nice. I had 2 closings take place, and I have my other closing today. And I was also able to get under contract some vacant land. So definitely excited to be back, pushing forward. Need to push, get my pipeline going here. We got last, quarter's going to be coming up and have to meet that goal. So definitely want to get my videos and CMAs going, but just happy to be back. Just wanted to say hi to everyone and happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Glad you're back. You talk about closings, guys. We told you last week, bind insurance. I'm freaking out. We're supposed to have 100 closings this week. And now with this hurricane crap, who knows what we're gonna get. But hopefully you took our advice and got some bound insurance, because I'm sure most of our market's gonna be fine. Don, you raise your hand. Thank you.
Yes, I have actually done quite a bit of videos. I've actually set up on my YouTube channel. I've figured out how to actually deactivate some YouTube channel.
You're breaking up really bad.
It might be my connection.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
No, it's really bad. Is that
Okay.
just me? Chris, can you hear him, Jeff?
Yeah, I hear the same thing. It's really crackly in and out.
All broken up.
All right, Jennifer. You raise your hand. Jennifer? You're muted, I think. If you're talking. There you go.
Okay, sorry about that.
No problem.
Driving a little bit. So, no, had a pretty good week last week. Spent some time in the office watching Tom Ferry, which I enjoyed. And then also I've been working on selecting a farm area in Apollo Beach. So had gotten my carts through Remind Together, and Jimmy kind of helped me with postcard layout and some stuff on that just to make it look really sharp. So I've got that together. Need to get those printed and mailed out this week, hopefully mailed out this week. Also working on CMAs in the area for high sell scores and absentee owners. So I've got those together as well that I'm going to mail out. And then I had a really good time at the top agent luncheon. Thank you for that, by the way. That's always a good time. And then I had a great listing appointment on Saturday with a friend who just follows, my business on Facebook and reached out. They're not really sure about the timeline. It could be a month, it could be 2 months, but definitely are going to list with me within that time frame. Great little house up in Newport Richey, great price point, probably between $325. And then Saturday evening was going to Lionel Richie concert, made a great connection with our Uber driver. I've already been in touch with him. He's looking to invest. And then yesterday I started reaching out to past clients and clients I'm working with, just in regards to, I have had several clients that are from out of state through Op City. So they're definitely not used to the hurricanes. So I've just started reaching out. That ended up being about 5 hours of my day yesterday. It was just going back and forth through texts and calls and that type of thing. So just had a chance to catch up with a lot of people that I, haven't actually had a conversation with, just text messages and emails over the last 6 to, I don't know, I would say 10 months. So just made some really good connections and a great listing appointment.
Man, I'm impressed.
Yes, I've got the school schedule down and I'm ready to rock now.
I love it. Confidence and the effort. I mean, you're actually working.
Yes.
I do a self-check-in on that one. Past clients. All right, who else wants to share? Kimberly, but did God tell her how long it would take to get that license? That's funny. Anybody else want to share? Do you think we're gonna have a prescription for you this week? It's going to be an easy one. You got to do something. Jack, are you trying to talk? If you're trying to talk, you're muted, or you're talking to somebody else. Don said, sorry about the connection. I've created a series of short videos that are being launched daily on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. These videos are starting to gain traction with around 1,000 views each. Wow, that's impressive. Gotcha. Okay, Jeff, you want to talk about the prescription?
Yeah, this is not the couple days to go door knocking. Nobody's real name or their head's not in this game right now for the next couple days. Number one priority is making sure everybody's safe, making sure everybody is preparing for hopefully nothing and just getting good. But there's a lot of people that are freaking out that aren't here. Right. So Craig and I were talking last night about what can we do to those guys and absentee owners. Think about if you lived in New Jersey and you're watching the news and you can't get down to check on your home and all that other stuff, right? How about reaching out to them and talking with them? And then how about some elderly neighbors or things to check on to see who needs some help, right? So it's just about reaching out to people and seeing if you have time and you're secured yourself, help people that might need some help or comfort them down is what Craig and I were talking about. Because this is on forefront in everybody's mind right now.
Yep. So call absentee owners to see how you can help. I wrote down call all of your listings and make sure they're tidied up, offer to help them too. And Mike Reichenbach sent me a text this morning to remind everybody yard signs become flying missiles in tropical storm force conditions. And they're saying Tampa Bay is definitely going to have tropical storm force conditions for a long period of time. So get our yard signs panels off the post. The post doesn't have to come out of the yard, but the sign panel does. So it's perfectly okay to ask the seller to remove it. It's basically just cutting a zip tie most of the time. Or it might be an S hook. So make sure to get those missiles down. And your riders on top of the signs as well. Move those flying around. So what do you think? Anybody willing to do that? What else could you do to help? Jack, are you trying to talk? You're muted.
I've got to step out for just 2 seconds real quick. I'll be right back in.
Jackie, you're muted still.
Unmute. There it is. Am I there?
Yep.
Okay. Well, first off, I closed on my Ruskin house, which through the knowledge that I have from Beggins, it was originally listed on the market with somebody else for $650,000. And when I went in there, I told them that it had to be at $550,000. And it probably was going to be less than that. We actually closed at $520,000. And it's one of those where we say it's a case of beer to the bay from that house, and your bot is on the bottom of the canal when the tide's not in. So it's almost impossible. So that one closed last week. I did my CMAs and I had 2 listing appointments from CMAs from past clients who said, yeah, I've been thinking about selling my house. Both of them are going to, with a fan agent app, are going to be able to net.
You froze.
It's a nice little frozen thumbnail.
My my house and water set that I had listed, I got a $65,000 price reduction on. And I had 3 people that are pretty interested in it. So we'll see what happens. But 65,000 was a nice drop from 835 to 770,000. And if we don't get something in a week, they agreed to drop it to 750.
There you go. Very nice. So I don't want to hear anybody saying there's nothing happening out there, because it is. Kimberly typed in, yes, my mom lives in Washington State and their news always exaggerates our storms to a ridiculous level. But she always believes the news, so absentee owners definitely need reassuring. Yeah, let's talk about that too, because they do. The media just blows it up. Other states, it looks like Florida is being hit by a hurricane. And I don't want to make light of it because it is a very serious thing. But the fact is, where landfall hits is where most of the devastation is. Right? It's usually less than a 5-mile area. along the coastline where it hits, that makes the storm really bad. So the media takes pictures of all that, and that's all you see is the torn down tree that crashed on the roof of the house, but it's the same house and the same tree forever and ever and ever. But 500 feet outside of that, there's no damage at all, right? So hopefully we just don't get a direct hit. We don't want to make light of it, but you got to watch the storm, know where it's going. If any of you are scared about that, feel free to call. I study a lot about hurricanes.
Well, here's something else to think about right now to prepare, not necessarily prepare for the hurricane, but preparing for aftermath after that, whatever may happen. There's going to be a lot of wind. There's going to be a lot of rain. People are going to find leaks. People are going to see things that need to be addressed or fixed that'll make them feel comfortable for the next time a storm comes through. If you have a list of resources that would benefit them, now's a good time to put that together and start contacting them after the storm goes through and just let them know that, hey, I know things can be a little bit scary. I've got some great resources if you need anything picked up, fixed, if you found some issues, whatever it is around the house. Also, with 1,142 people a day moving to the state of Florida, this is new for a lot of them. And a lot of them aren't going to want to stay here after going through the anxieties and stresses of feeling that. And they're going to need you to be top of mind. So you communicating and connecting with them, trying to provide value and see if you could help them in any way. Here's some resources. Do you need anything? Can I provide you with a roofer or someone to take a look at those things? We've all got a good list of people around that can help them out. So I would try and stay communicating with them, because again, 1,100 people a day move to the state of Florida. This is first time that a lot of them are going through this. And we've had people that just don't want to deal with the heat anymore that move out of the state. Now imagine having to go through something like this on top of it. They may not want to be here next year. So they're going to need some help as well.
Gary chatted in, we just switched our inspection on one property from tomorrow to Saturday. That's fine, as long as you're still within your inspection period. If not, you might have to get a extension to your inspection period. Just make sure you're within that. But that's smart, because there's nothing but panic tomorrow and Wednesday. And inclement weather for sure. All right, well, that's all we got for today. It's just responsibility and off. Oh, you do get an extension. Good job. All right.
Stay safe, help people, and let's all just blow and push this thing away from here.
Yes. Well, John Lum used to be a pilot, so he studies weather patterns. And then Friday he was talking about that there's a severe high pressure zone over Florida, and that should push it further away from us. So I like sharing that news because I hope it's true.
Yes, and I'm waking up the Indians over on the coast here.
That's right.
See what they're going to do.
And then tomorrow afternoon, everybody go outside, face to the west, and just take a deep breath and go. and everybody, if we all blow at the same time, we'll start pushing the hurricane away.
Right. All right, and also if you haven't done yet, get your sign panels and riders and take care of those.
I said that already, but
yep, I know. Just as a reminder.
Yeah. Call your sellers, call your absentee owners that you've been working on, and just be a friend. And that's all we got. Managers, I'll see you at 11. Bye. Bye all.